1947, North Africa. After a crushing defeat, Williamson and his monkey companion George returned from the jungles with their newly formed Monkey Cerebus Squad, fueled by the Riff Kush. With redemption on their mind, and Colonel von Liechtenstein of the Green Hand bearing down on an important supply post, can Williamson and George beat back the Green Hand and finally take back what's theirs in this week's battle report of Konflikt 47. Hey, how's it going? Mike from Mike Rolls Dice, and welcome back for another battle report of Konflikt 47 here on the channel. Today we have a rematch between Rev's British Commonwealth and my Green Hand forces. First off, I'd like to say thank you to all of our YouTube members here on the channel, and to everyone who watches the videos. I couldn't do it without you. Now with that out of the way, let's go over the army list, starting off with the Green Hand. Starting off, we have 1,500 points of my Axis forces, and these are better known as the Green Hand. And for this particular mission, we're deploying all of our units on the board, as you can see. So starting off, we have a sniper team. This is just a regular sniper team up on the rock. Then we have our platoon commander in Stahltruppen power armor. This is Colonel von Liechtenstein, and he has 2 extra Stahltruppen, and they are just rocking the STGs. Then we have a Schreckwolfen squad, and these are damage value 7, though with the Stahltruppen platoon commander, we can use his Rift Mastery that I paid for to give them a surging dice. Then there's a Stahltruppen squad. There are 2 Stahltruppen squads on the board equipped with light anti-tank gun, LMG, and STGs, as well as Panzerfaust. Then there's a regular platoon commander with a backup soldier, and they are both equipped with Panzerfaust. And then I have 2 squads of Volksgrenadiers, and these are veterans. These are equipped with assault rifles. There is 1 LMG and a loader as well, and they're all equipped with Panzerfaust. Then we have a Flammenspinne. This is just a regular Flammenspinne. It's only equipped with an infantry flamethrower. Then for the command vehicle, we have the Vogelspinne, which has the Maschensphere upgrade and a medium machine gun. Then there's the 2nd Stahltruppen unit, again with the anti-tank, LMG, and STG. Then we just have a regular unit of the Volksgrenadiers, all equipped with rifles. That's 1,500 points in my Green Hand. Now on to Rev's Commonwealth forces. So next up we have Rev's list for today, and this comes in just around 1,500 points. Somewhat common list to the first time that the Green Hand and the Commonwealth showed down here on the channel. Now, starting off, we have a unit of Mark II infantry, and these are equipped with light autocannons, and one is equipped with a heavy autocannon. We have another unit of Mark II automated infantry, and these again, all the units are equipped with light autocannons, with one upgraded to a heavy autocannon. Then we have a platoon commander officer, and he is equipped with an anti-tank launcher. We have another unit of Mark II infantry. And then we have the Merlin Heavy Walker, which is equipped with an anti-tank gun, HMGs, and MMGs. It also has an ability to essentially negate any damage rolls that aren't full damage rolls, or knockout results. Then we have one more Mark II automated infantry squad, and last but not least, we have the brand new Cerebus squad and the return of Williamson and George. So there's actually Williamson and George are both handlers, and they brought their newly trained monkeys to wreak some havoc. And those are both the army lists. Now onto the board today, we're just going to be playing a simple mission of whoever can kill the most points will be getting 1 point for each unit killed, and the center objective, which is the 1 2-story building in the center that they need to hold. Alright, start of turn 1 here, and the Stahltruppen are just running forward, getting some cover behind the central objective, getting ready for some shots next turn.
Stahltruppen Squad Alpha, moving forward.
Green Hand are up again, and the other Stahltruppen unit are just following the unit on the right. They are running forward and taking cover behind the building. Now I'm really on a hot streak pulling dice out of the bag here, so activating now with Colonel von Liechtenstein. he's using his Rift dice to convert 2 of his Rift dice to a Surgeon dice and then give it to the Schreckwolfen. That way the Schreckwolfen are now damage value 8. And then the Colonel and his 2 bodyguards move forward and take cover behind their stall troop.
Let us crush these fools once again.
So the Volksgrenadiers are up now, and they are going to be running. They can't really see much behind the rock, so they're just advancing forward using the next piece of terrain as cover. And the Green Hand are surging forward across the board, with the Volksgrenadiers now running behind the stall troop and attempting to use the central objective as cover. And now with the Schreckwolfen damage value 8, they're just going to advance forward, because if they run, they're going to be out in the open. So advancing forward 8 inches and taking some cover behind the building, followed by the Axis sniper team now, which runs off of the rock as it doesn't have any good line of sight, as it'll just get shot off the top of the rock if it tries to go up there. So the Merlin Walker is activating now and is going to be shooting its anti-tank gun at the Axis Vogelspinne and its HMGs and MMGs at the Volksgrenadier right in front of it. Starting off with the HMGs and the MMGs. Making some of the cover saves due to the hard cover, but unfortunately losing quite a lot of the Volksgrenadiers. With the MMGs being able to take out a couple more Volksgrenadiers, but missing the Vogelspinne with the anti-tank. Now the Mark II infantry are advancing forward. They are slow and they're in the terrain. They're going to be taking shots at the Schreckwolfen that advance forward. After firing both the heavy and light autocannons, managing to get a successful damage roll through on the Schreckwolfen, and a failed hard-to-kill roll takes one of them out. So now the Green Hand Vogelspinne is activating. It's going to be staying still and firing, activating its Rift Dice on its Maschensphere, generating a template, and getting 2 hits for each model inside the template. Getting 3 successful damage rolls here, and even with the hard to kill cover save rolls, Rev only manages to save 1. But fortunately, the Maschensphere was less effective on the Merlin Walker. So now the Mark II infantry are advancing forward onto this terrain piece here, this ruins. They're going to be taking aim at the Flammenspinne with their autocannons.
Enemy walker located. Ready for fire order.
Unfortunately not managing a damage roll. So now the lone Mark II infantry is activating, taking his heavy autocannon and firing at the Vogelspinne.
Firing autocannon. Fire.
But not managing any successful damage rolls. The other Mark II unit now advancing forward from behind the rock, apparently being the biggest threat on the board according to the AI control of the automated infantry. They're going to be firing at the Vogelspinne as well. But the Vogelspinne gets a lucky cover save. Now the veteran Volksgrenadiers are following the Colonel's signal here and moving up on the left behind the cover. So the Axis platoon commander advances forward and using his point of guts is going to put the Schreckwolfen dice back in the bag.
Don't just stand there, damn it! Do something!
Williamson and George are running forward behind the rock, matching the Volksgrenadiers on the other side, and are getting ready for a charge next turn. The Commonwealth platoon commander activating and using his point of guts to put the Merlin Walker's dice back in the bag.
Alright, you. Take out that Vogelspinne over there.
Now the Schreckwolfen are up, pulling their dice out of the bag, and they are just advancing forward or running. getting ever closer to the Commonwealth front line and taking cover behind the building. After putting the dice back in the bag, now Rev is activating with the Merlin, advancing forward because they don't get a -1 to shoot, and firing at the Vogelspinne and the Volksgrenadiers.
There you are. Ready the cannon.
Managing to take out one of the Volksgrenadiers with its machine guns, and just managing to pin against the Vogelspinne. The Flammenspinne is the last unit to activate here and just advances forward, touching the central objective and getting ready to flamethrower next turn. And with that, that is the end of turn 1. We're moving on to the start of turn 2. Start of turn 2 here, and the Merlin Heavy Walkers activating first, firing at the Vogelspinne and the Volksgrenadiers, and I go down with the Volksgrenadiers in response. After firing at the Volksgrenadiers, moves on to the Vogelspinne with the anti-tank gun. And with a successful hit and damage roll and a full damage roll of a 5, manages to take out the Vogelspinne with ease. The Schreckwolfen are activating, and they can just see this Mark II infantry squad from around the corner. Charging into the Mark II infantry squad, they are damage value 8, and they don't use their Howl at the Moon because the robots are fearless. Mark II infantry needs 6s into 6s here to damage the Schreckwolfen. And the Schreckwolfen easily take out the Mark II infantry squad, getting a 1-inch consolidation move. So the Flammenspinne is activating here, and it is going to advance forward and use its infantry flamethrower on the Mark II infantry right next to the Schreckwolfen. Passing its order test and getting rid of a pin, it needs to roll to see if the flamethrower goes off.
Burn, clankers, burn!
It unfortunately doesn't on a 1, but luckily it doesn't run out of fuel. So the Stahltruppen are now activating. They advance from around the central objective, making sure not to get within 6, firing their anti-tank at the Mark II infantry. Managing a successful damage roll, but the hard-to-kill roll saves the Mark II. Now the Stahltruppen following the Schreckwolfen are advancing up the left side, looking to consolidate that flank. Now the Volksgrenadiers are activating. Hearing rabid monkeys on the other side of the rocks, the Volksgrenadier choose to go on ambush by the rock.
Was that monkeys?
The Mark II infantry are up next, and they're going to be firing at the Stahltruppen next to the central objective, using their autocannons.
Target located.
The lone Mark II infantry, after being hit from the Volksgrenadier last turn, is now firing. It manages to take out some more of the Volksgrenadiers that went down earlier. Surrounded by Schreckwolfens and a Flammenspinne, the Mark II infantry are firing at the Schreckwolfen with their autocannons. Passing one hard-to-kill roll, one of the Schreckwolfens manages to survive. So now the Cerebus squad are activating, and they are moving towards the central objective.
Come on, George. Let's go. Let's show them what our new monkeys can do.
Now the Axis sniper is activating and has the Cerebus clear in its sights. But doesn't manage to take one out. Now Colonel von Liechtenstein backing up his stall trooping on the left, advancing up that left side, staying out of line of sight from the Commonwealth forces. And the Volksgrenadiers are just moving up behind the building, staying back as reinforcements. That way the Green Hand have some units for later on. And seeing that the Volksgrenadiers and the Stalltruppen have some pins are in trouble, the Axis platoon commander pushes out towards those two units to provide a morale bubble. And with that, that is the end of turn 2. Things are moving pretty quick here as usual, and we're going to be moving on to the start of turn 3. Some of the Green Hand forces managed to push all the way into the Commonwealth side, but we'll see if that's enough to stop them from reaching the central objective. So start of turn 3 here, and the Mark II infantry are activating first. They're going to be firing at the Schreckwolfen right in front of them, so that way it doesn't get a charge. But unfortunately, with the toughness 8, they don't manage any successful damage rolls. So now the Schreckwolfen is charging into the Mark II infantry right in front of them, again needing 6s into 6s for the Mark II. Getting quite a lot of 6s, but not that fabled 6 into 6. They're going to be locked in combat. So now the Merlin Heavy Walker is activating and is going to be advancing, now getting in line of sight right on the Flammenspinne in close blank range and firing at the Stalltruppen on its left. Managing to wipe out the entire Stalltruppen squad with its MMGs and HMGs. Being in point blank range with the anti-tank gun, manages to light the Vogelspinne on fire, causing the crew to take a morale test, which it fails, which they flee off the board. Don't forget the Schreckwolfen and Mark II have their ongoing combat that will be going on throughout all of this, and the Volksgrenadiers in the center are activating now that the platoon commander moved closer. Firing a Panzerfaust at the Merlin, but unfortunately missing. So now the Volksgrenadiers are pushing out here. They're going to be taking their rifles and firing at the Cerebus squad by the central objective.
Gun them down! Kill them all!
Managing to take out Williamson, the spotter, leaving just George to be in control of the monkeys. And the Stalltruppen up next, they're going inside the structure, and the ongoing fight between the Schreckwolfen and the Mark II. And the Mark II getting another lucky damage roll, but the hard to kill on the Schreckwolfen saves it. Now the Cerebus squad, enraged after being shot at by a bunch of rifles, charges into the regular Volksgrenadier squad. Again, this is the Cerebus squad. They're supposed to be jacked up bulldogs, but instead they're Rift Kush enraged monkeys. And with ease, they win the combat, managing to wipe the entire regular Volksgrenadier squad, and only just losing 1 or 2 monkeys in the process. Getting a consolidation move ever closer towards the Axis platoon commander. With a successful damage roll, the Schreckwolfen takes out another Mark II with the ongoing combat. Now, after seeing a full squad of Volksgrenadiers wiped out from the monkey squad, the Axis platoon commander moves forward, and they're going to be firing their SMGs and their Panzerfaust at it. And with the Panzerfaust managing a successful damage roll, taking out one of the monkeys. And finally, after a grueling battle, the lone Schreckwolfen makes it through the armor of the last Mark II infantry and gets a 6-inch consolidation away from the Merlin. Seeing the Schreckwolfen out of the corner of its automated eyes, Mark II infantry is going to shoot at it with its autocannons. But unfortunately misses. And continuing to try and get a clear shot on the battlefield, the sniper team just runs forward, trying to get an angle for next turn. And a Mark II infantry here, one of them is just moving into the terrain, so they're wholly in it, and they're going to fire at the Schreckwolfen that just wiped out their fellow Mark II squad. They're going to be using their heavy autocannon and their light autocannon. Managing quite a few successful damage rolls and a failed hard-to-kill save, and the lone Schreckwolfen is taken out. Colonel von Liechtenstein just moves closer towards his Stahltruppen in the building, and the Volksgrenadier squad are now pushing out from behind cover as reinforcements. They're going to be ready to fire their Panzerfaust next turn. And with that, that is the end of turn 3, and we're moving on to the start of turn 4. Start of turn 4, and the Axis are up first. Staying put, the Volksgrenadier squad are choosing to fire using their Panzerfaust, rolling to see how many shots they get. Getting one successful damage roll. Fortunately for the Merlin, it has its active rift dice, and it negates that damage roll. So the other Volksgrenadier squad that's been whittled down slowly throughout the game is advancing forward into point-blank range, and they're also going to be shooting their RPGs. Managing to get both shots off, but only one hits, but unfortunately they don't get a successful damage roll. Now the Axis platoon commander firing, staying put right at the Cerebus squad in front of them. And even with point-blank range and SMGs and an RPG or a Panzerfaust, they only take out one of the monkeys. Now the Merlin Walker activating here, it's going to be advancing through both of the Volksgrenadier units, causing morale checks, getting some attacks along the way, and then firing its guns.
Out of the way, lads.
Both squads luckily passing the morale test, but now the Walker is going to get some hits with its legs and its arms. Managing to take out a few of the troops from the larger Volksgrenadier squad. It's going to be firing at the Stahltruppen platoon commander squad and the Stahltruppen in the building. Managing to take out one of the Stahltruppen platoon commander's bodyguards. And after firing at the Stahltruppen in the building, only managing to pin. So the Mark II infantry now is activating, and it's going to just be advancing forward. It's going to take aim at the smaller Volksgrenadier squad.
Target wounded. Ready for neutralization.
But only managing an additional pin. Now the Mark II infantry squad are advancing forward into point-blank range, and they're going to be firing at the Stahltruppen inside of the building with their autocannons. But only managing an additional pin with the hard cover. So now the Stahltruppen squad inside that building after receiving fire, activating the rift dice to get rid of all of their pins. And they're going to be firing at the Merlin Walker. But unfortunately, they miss. Cerebus squad charging around the corner into the platoon commander. And after a quick round of combat, easily mops them up. Now the Axis sniper team, finally getting a clear shot, are going to be firing at the Mark II infantry. But unfortunately miss. And Colonel von Liechtenstein, after getting strafed by an HMG, is going to be moving behind the cover here. That is the end of turn 4, and the Commonwealth are gaining the upper hand. We're moving on to the start of turn 5. Start of turn 5, and the Merlin Walker is continuing its reign of havoc in the center. It's going to be passing its order test of an advance, again advancing through both of the infantry units, forcing them to move out of the way, causing morale tests to see if they flee, and then getting hits off on them.
Oh, sorry about that. Perhaps I do need to go back this way.
The smaller Volksgrenadier with all the pins unfortunately failed the morale test and flee.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here.
After making some melee attacks, the Merlin manages to take out an additional Volksgrenadier from the larger unit, and now firing at the Stahltruppen in the center and some of the Volksgrenadiers right next to it. Using its HMGs and MMGs to easily mop up the Volksgrenadiers, and then firing an HE template at the Stahltruppen in the building, managing to take out one of Stahltruppen. Now the Mark II infantry squad, knowing that this is one of the last strong points for the Axis on the map, advance, take aim at the Stahltruppen in the building. Firing their light and heavy autocannons. They only manage some additional pins. Now the Stahltruppen in the building, using the Rift Dice again to get rid of the pins and fire at the Mark II right in front of them. Unfortunately failing the damage roll. The lone Mark II infantry firing at the Stahltruppen. Unfortunately missing. Now the lone Cerebus monkey is charging into the building here. And manages to take out both of the Stahltruppen after a round of combat. Must be fueled by the Rift Kush. With that, I call it. That is the end of turn 5 and the end of the game. The British Commonwealth have successfully repelled the Green Hand. They've not only taken out more of the Axis forces, but they managed to resecure the central objective and save face after the gripping defeat in their first battle. Williamson and George returned from the jungle with their rabid Rift Kush fueled monkeys, managed to rebuild his reputation a little bit within the British Commonwealth. Well, shout out to Rev. It was a fantastic game here. It's always fun when I get to use my Green Hand forces, and I loved the new Cerebus squad. He asked if he could use monkeys, and I said, of course, I want you to use monkeys. But thank you again to everybody for watching, and thank you again to all the members here on the channel, everyone that's been tuning into the live streams. The support means a lot, and to everyone who watches our battle reports here, we've been getting a ton of new subscribers, so I appreciate it, and it means a lot. I couldn't do without you folks. Well, my name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. We have tons of new Conflict 47 content planned for the channel. We can't wait to introduce you folks to some of the wacky stuff we've been coming up with. And again, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much for watching as always. Again, my name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. Until next time, keep rolling high on those dice.